Eastern Kentucky, 700,000 acres of forest. And somewhere out there, something followed a man back to his tent. Before we go any further, subscribe to the channel because stories like this one only get scarier from here. I've been camping alone since my 20s. 15 years of solo trips. I know the risks. That's why I always carry a rifle. This happened 2 years ago in the Daniel Boone National Forest. I had a rough stretch at work and I needed a few days away from everything. So I drove out on a Thursday morning, parked at a trailhead, and started walking. The first day was exactly what I needed. 7 miles in, I found a flat spot near a creek bed. Set up camp, got a fire going, cooked, ate, relaxed. I didn't see a single person all day. I fell asleep around 10. I woke up sometime in the middle of the night. Not sure why, my brain just switched on, and through the walls of my tent, I saw a glow, orange, flickering, about 200 yards out. A fire, someone else's fire. I watched it for a few minutes, waited to hear voices. Nothing. Figured it was just another camper, careless enough to leave it burning. I zipped my tent shut and went back to sleep. But in the morning, curiosity got the better of me. I hiked to where I'd seen it. 10 minutes, maybe less. I found a clearing. I was sure of it. The angle matched exactly. There was no fire pit, no ring of stones, no scorched earth, nothing. The ground was untouched, like no one had stood there in months. I told myself I had the wrong spot. There was no other explanation that made sense. So I moved on. I still had 2 more nights planned. The terrain changed as the day went on. Denser woods, older trees, thicker canopy. I set up camp again around 4, put the fire out by 9, and went to sleep. Then the sound came. A massive cracking, like a branch snapping, except it didn't stop. 3 for seconds of violent tearing, and then a thud. I fell through the ground. A tree had come down, somewhere to the south. No wind that night. No storm. Nothing that should have brought a tree down. Before I could even process it, it happened again. Louder. Closer. From a completely different direction. Northwest this time. 2 trees. 2 separate parts of the forest. No explanation. And then I heard something else. A low, rolling groan. Almost like a growl, except it never paused for breath. Not a bear. Not an elk. Nothing I recognized. It sounded deliberate. I grabbed my rifle, chambered around, aimed it at the tent flap, and waited. I sat like that for 20 minutes, heart pounding, until the sound finally faded into the dark. Then silence. I didn't sleep again that night. At first light, I packed up and moved toward where the second tree had fallen. I needed to see it. Needed proof. I hadn't imagined it. I found it. Massive trunk, snapped at an angle. But the break wasn't clean. Not wind damage. Not a natural fracture. The wood was gouged, long, deep grooves running through it, like something had torn it apart rather than snapped it. Bark peeled back in strips. Chewed. Stripped. Nothing I'd ever seen before. Then I saw something on the ground near the branches. Something that didn't belong out there. A blue bandana. A carabiner. Mine. Something had gone through my camp. Through my things. While I slept. I didn't wait around to figure out how or why. I grabbed my gear and ran. The whole way back, I felt eyes on me like something was pacing me just out of sight. I kept my rifle in my hands the entire hike. I made it to my car by mid-afternoon and drove until the forest was far behind me. Called the police the moment I felt safe. They didn't take it seriously. I understood why, and honestly, I didn't care. What stays with me isn't the fear. It's the not knowing. That fire that wasn't real. Those trees that shouldn't have fallen. My things, moved by something that watched me long enough to know exactly where I slept. I still camp alone, but some places remind you how small you are, and how much of the world still has no explanation. That's a lesson worth carrying, whether you ever set foot in those woods or not.